Thank you so much, teacher, for coming on this new show of ours, An Ode to Teachers, Rendezvous with the Selfless Souls. 1975, it's Notre Dame Academy, Patna, right?
Right. We were the first ICSG batch from that school. We used to have papers every day.
Okay.
So it was very tough, but we managed.
So 1975. So actually, you are basically from Patna, right? You were born in Patna. How is it?
No, I was born in Patna, yes, but I have traveled to quite a few places because my father was in a transferable job. So
Okay.
I have actually studied in 4 different schools.
So it was. So it would have been really tough making friends, like leaving friends and
Very
then,
tough.
huh?
You're right, very tough.
To make
But
up
it was
the
nice also. We got so many new people to meet and to make new friends in each place. I started it. I started my studies in Sacred Heart Convent here in Jamshedpur.
in Jamshedpur. Okay. Ah,
Right.
okay. Okay.
Then I went to uh, this thing, Notre Dame Academy. Then to Loreto Convent, Ranchi. Then
Loreto
again
Convent,
to Notre
Ranchi.
Dame
Okay.
Academy.
Okay. You have studied in
Then I
all the
went to
elite schools, huh? I was going to a Facebook walls where I saw some technical terms like social introvert. It's like bibliophilic and all those stuff. So maybe. So were you a social introvert, or is it like just you? Are you a social introvert, or just you posted it something like that? Because we post something which we relate to, right?
no, I am.
Huh? Okay, you are.
Right. I was a very, very big introvert, and I am still one. It's only when I stand in a classroom that all my reticence goes away, and I manage to speak properly to all. Otherwise, I interact very little with people.
Felt like yes, I have to like I have to teach or I have to become a teacher. So like
Oh,
when did the thought come in?
that thought was always present in my mind
Oh,
because I was
that's
so
great.
fond of my subject that I really wanted to become a teacher and just convey my feelings and thoughts about this particular subject to others also.
So which was the first school where you gave the interview?
I've just taught in 2 schools.
Okay.
One is Rajendra Vidyalaya. I began there, Rajendra
Okay.
Vidyalaya, and then of course church school.
Okay. Okay.
I left teaching for 2 years, and then I joined a church school. I remember my demo class in church school.
In church school.
I had to teach. Yes, I had to teach Julius Caesar to standard 9 students.
Okay. Who were judging you? I want to know the people who were judging you actually.
There was the vice principal, Mrs. Ismail, was there.
Okay.
And Abha teacher was there.
Okay. Okay.
And I think a couple more. I didn't know who they were actually at that time. I was too nervous.
Okay.
But I was told that I was taken in, and within 2 years, I was given +2. Within a year, I was given +2 to teach. They promoted me to the higher sections.
So what was that year? Like which year was that?
I think that was 92.
92. Okay. When I was 1 year old. As in. Okay. 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 That's great. So what did you do with your first salary that you got?
I bought something for my mother, first of all.
Okay.
It wasn't very much, but it was a very thrilling experience, to get some money in return for some work that you've done. Very nice experience.
So like how were your parents really excited about you joining being a teacher, or they always wanted to do something else? How was it?
They supported me, of course, but my father had certain dreams probably of my doing the UPSC and all that.
Okay, okay, okay. Was he was also a bureaucrat?
Yes, he was. So he wanted me also to do that, but he never forced me. I was not very interested in all this administrative jobs and all.
Okay, okay.
I was pretty, interested in just teaching basically. I know today people consider teaching to be a very third-rate profession, but I have always thought it's a very wonderful profession.
How students have changed from like when you teach, how students used to perceive things, and now how students are like perceiving things. I don't know, like there
Massive
might have been a
change.
gap, huh?
I know the massive change,
Massive
very,
change
very
is there.
massive change. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when I started teaching, of course, they were interested in knowing things, that curiosity was there. Of course, they were mischief makers always, but that is different. But now, later on, I found towards the end of my career that children were not interested basically in studying because everything was available on their mobile phones, So teachers became redundant.
So they thought that they can anyway go home and study in their mobile phones, or
Yeah,
maybe take notes
exactly.
in WhatsApp.
Exactly.
Instead of listening to the class, they can do that later when they go back home,
So class was for enjoyment and fun.
for coming and meeting friends, right?
You're right.
And going. Maybe, but what I could think of is like when we were studying, like in 2000s or something, when we were in school. So there used to be a gap, a bit of a certain respect bridge between a student and a teacher. Like I would have been like,
Right.
how am I talking to you now? Maybe in 2004 or 5, when I was being taught by you, I couldn't have like talked in this fashion or this manner. Maybe there was always a bridge, like, yeah, Mita teacher has come now. You have to be very cautious about all this. But I could
Yeah,
see there is a sudden drift. Like now, students are more of friends with teachers, or
right. See,
uh, yeah,
I was saying that right, you are right about that. You hit the nail on the head. Like earlier, there was a sense of respect for the teachers. You could be
yeah,
friendly. Being
mm,
friendly was there also. Then also,
yeah,
the students were friendly, but they never, overstepped the mark. But
yeah,
later on, that that respect really started waning,
mm,
and students not. I didn't find that in my own experience. The students always talked respectfully to me, but there were other teachers who were not treated well by the students. So I didn't like that whole attitude change.
sudden attitude change. Yeah, yeah. So, do you remember any instances with the parent or teachers, like with the parent or a student, like which have been like which has actually led you made like, yeah, this profession what I have chosen is a very wise, like a very wise decision of yours, or maybe a very humbling experience with a parent. Because see, I have also eavesdropped sometime when I was in school. Like some parents used to come with genuine problems, like seeking this is not happening with us, maybe because at our times our parents were like mostly educated in Hindi medium schools, and they were raising their children like in the English
Hmm.
medium schools. There was a gap, and there has to be a tuition after school as well,
Hmm.
as you know, like there will be a
Right.
so like
Hmm.
was there any humbling experience with a parent or maybe a student, a personal one-to-one confrontation where you came to know, like, fine, like this is what I was meant to do and I'm doing, and I'm really proud of this profession, anything?
Uh, See, this what you were talking about was an experience which I've experienced many times. Maybe not with parents, but with
Mm.
students themselves. Like even there were times when the students who were not showing much of interest in studying in the beginning, gradually they came around, and then they would come to me and they would say, "Thank you so much for being so strict about our studies. Thank you for guiding us, and because of this I've been able to do this." And then there were others also. I remember there was one boy whom I had taught. He was very smart, very good looking, okay, but very intelligent also, but didn't pay attention to his studies. And
Okay.
then after few years, about 4 5 years, he came back. I couldn't recognize him. His hair had gone. He had become bald. He had become
Huh.
dark. And came and said, "Teacher, I should have listened to you. I should have studied. Now I have not got any proper job. I'm a contractor. I have to stand in the sun the whole day and get buildings made. and he was really repenting for the fact that he had not studied in school. You really feel bad about what they have gone through. But then I keep citing these examples. I kept citing these examples to my students to, make them aware while there's time, to study while this, make hay while the sun shines. Later
Yeah,
on, it becomes too late.
yeah. People regret, like, why didn't they
Yes.
listen to their parents or maybe teachers?
Mm.
Whatnot.
Mm.
How many novels do you have at your home? Like, have you ever counted them?
There are more books than people and furniture in the house,
Okay, okay,
stacked in every corner. My
okay,
father's books have come to me. Then my own books. I don't spend on anything, but I can spend easily on books. I don't think twice about spending on books.
okay. So, what is the book you are reading now? Any book that you're reading now?
Yes, I was reading the Storyteller by Jodi Picoult. It's a
Okay,
nice book. I read the review that it's interesting, so I bought that book. It's about the Nazi concentration camp, and it tells the viewpoint of the Jews as well as the Nazis. A very interesting reading.
okay. And any of the book like you would like to recommend people, like your students who will be seeing this, to actually read? Like, see, I have, like, what I could understand about literature is, like, there is there are poems, there are stories,
Mm.
and then there
Mm.
are novels, and
There are
maybe
plays.
and there are plays. Okay.
Right.
So, can you suggest in one of all those categories, like the people should actually
See,
watch or read?
for plays though, I would opt for any of Shakespeare's plays any day. Okay.
Okay.
So, and the easiest ones, of course, are those which are taught in the beginning in the school, like Julius Caesar, Macbeth. These are interesting and nice to read, follow. So either you read it, or which is a very lost pastime now. People usually watch things on the mobile,
Yeah, yeah.
so
YouTube.
you can you can watch the play. For stories, I would recommend. There are so many, but I think one or two comes to mind. To Kill a Mockingbird by
Okay.
Harper Lee.
That's a
It's an
thin book, I guess.
internal, not very thick. Yes, you can
Okay.
read it. Not very thick. Then Anne Frank's Diary, uh, that you must have heard of. Anne Frank's Diary about this is a real real experiences of a young Jew girl who was sent to the concentration camp.
Okay.
There is Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. The
Okay.
initial paragraph of that book, of that novel, is something which I never get tired of reading. The first 2-3 paragraphs. It's written so
Okay.
beautifully. As far as modern literature is concerned, I read everything that I can find. Okay, it's not that I have anything fixed author, but I love mystery books for
Okay.
light reading.
Mm.
So I have read all of Agatha Christie's books.
Oh, Agatha Christie.
Yeah,
I
I am.
remember there was, for at my time, people used to read Agatha Christie and Hardy Boys.
Hardy was for boys especially. Yes,
Yeah, the yellow color pages
Agatha
that you used to get in the library.
yeah, yeah. And what else? The modern literature made. I can't specifically pinpoint anything. I like books by Jeffrey Archer.
Yeah.
Then horror horror books by Stephen King. Okay, these are not popular literature. I mean, these are popular books. Okay, they are not literary books. These are okay for light reading.
Okay. And poems? How about poems?
Poems, of course, it's each one to his taste. So I like the poetry of Robert Browning and John Keats best.
Okay.
And of course, there are many other poems. You cannot really pinpoint any one.
Yeah, I was reading once. Once I was like listening. I was also not reading. I was listening to one of the shows in Spotify that comes basically, which actually talks about all the poets. So it told
Okay.
about John, like it told about Keats, like they died like very early age, like I guess.
25,
Yeah,
yes.
25.
Retired
Yeah,
at 25.
yeah, yeah. So I,
And the literature is very vast. There's no beginning and there's no end. If you are studying literature, means you really have to go into the depths of, all right from the 6th century till 21st century. So you have to know everything. Like in MA, you have papers which just says 18th century literature. Now, 18th century literature means it will include all the plays, all the dramas, all the stories, novels, poems, nothing specified. You have to know most of the important things. So there's no end to studying in that.
pretty tough as well.
You have to be, yes, you have to be genuinely fond of it to study.
You can't just wake up one day and say, "Hey, I want to do literature," and then you find yourself
I suppose
being.
that's true for all the subjects. You have to have
Yeah,
kind of passion for it.
are you fond of basically Netflix, Amazon Prime, binge watching? Have you ever binge watch anything?
I think the only show which I have binge watched, not really binge watched, but watched more than others, is Friends on Netflix.
Okay,
That was
Friends. Yeah,
because
yeah.
I used to, I used to watch Friends earlier also, but I had never seen it properly. All the seasons. This time I saw the whole thing.
So you might like How I Met Your Mother, How I Met Your Mother, then Big Bang Theory,
Yeah,
Young Sheldon.
yeah. Big Bang Theory also, I really like that.
Okay.
It's very interesting.